Girls, how you doing? Let's do another pick a card, and today is gonna be, is there someone else? Okay, so that could be quite triggering, so let's stay cool. It's just tarot. Use your own wisdom and see if you resonate. If it doesn't, let it go. Just let it go and don't create stories when there's no stories. Okay, stay cool. Okay, so two piles, and then we're gonna develop if we don't have a clear answer, but that should be quite straightforward. But we can also have an idea of why they're behaving in maybe in an unusual way at the moment. 1, 2, 1, 2. Excuse me, George is here. Pile number 1, is there someone else? The Wheel of Fortune, Page of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. There is change. There is definitely a transformation, and you feel that it's a turning point here. Is good luck is on your side, so I guess it's you're the only other person, but I need to work it out because yes, it's an idea of starting something new, but maybe this time they want to nurture it, and maybe until then they were a little bit confused, or they were not very sure where they were going, and it felt like maybe you were stagnating, and maybe that's why you wonder if there's someone else. But let's keep an open mind on this one. The thing is, they want to give you as much as you give them, so that's really lovely, because Six of Pentacles is pure love, is long term, is equal. That's it, no doubt. If it's about work, definitely they see the potential in you. They want to really pay you for what you're worth. They want to respect you, make you appreciate it. So I don't think there's someone else per se, but I want to have a little more clarity. Right, okay, now I get it. So that's the thing. Something needs to be purged, because when you have a Page of Pentacles, quite often it's an idea of starting over, but this time with a certain form of knowledge and understanding of the situation. Okay, so maybe they were tempted by someone else and almost to give up the whole shebang, but because they look within, and with the angel, gods, whatever you want to call it, unicorns, you kind of protected and guided towards each other. So you just have to have a fine tuning. I don't think there's someone else, but the temptation could have been there, because it felt like they were ready for something new, but they needed to realize, okay, is it with you or someone else? Because it felt like maybe it was stagnating, maybe it was too much difficulties, it was just like hard work to get there, but now we have a turning point, and we can actually invest in that relationship really well and go to the bottom of things and nurturing for good, right? Yes, you need to spend more quality time together. I think you may have been, living life in parallel and not together. Maybe you were doing your thing, they were doing their thing, and then what? When do we actually have quality of life? When do we actually appreciate each other and see face to face properly, have a date night or something like this? So I think they needed to have a moment and ask themselves the question, and really go to the core of this connection. Is it really worth it? Because the way we're going right now is not really, it's not it. You know what I'm saying? And so they needed to reappreciate, is it worth working towards the story or not, So, bam, okay, here we go. There's nobody else. But there could have been at some point a question mark. Because you feel that you are not entertaining the relationship. Maybe both of you, maybe only them, whatever. But it was necessary to reconnect. That was really needed, big time. And then you can actually build for the future, happy ever after, absolutely. But there was a question mark, and I think when you're in a relationship, it's always very important to, pause once in a while and just reassess. What can be fixed? What can be readjusted? How can we entertain that connection? Because it's just because you've been together for a while, that means that you're always going to be together. It's like a fire. You need to entertain that and maintain it with some logs, otherwise the fire will come down. So I think it's really important that you realize that both of you don't take the connection for granted. That's really important. Entertain it. Have that, date night or date in a different way. Do something that is special and take the time, switch off the phone and be present for each other. I think that would be the message on this one, okay? So that was pile number 1. Pile number 2, is there someone else? Page of Wands, Four of Swords, Five of Wands. Ooh, Could be, but let's keep an open mind here. Someone is not facing the truth. Someone is playing a little game. Someone is putting things, how can I say? Putting everything on the line, really playing with fire here. Because someone is not very grown up and play games. Someone is not real. Someone is false. Don't like it. There is a lot of avavum going on somewhere. And they're also wondering the in-between. Should I stay? Should I go? You know, something like this. Someone maybe is not looking within and dealing with their own emotion and healing, you know, the very core. They need to look back and really ask themselves some serious question here. Healing needs to happen here. So let's have a look. Let's not get crazy. She says, yeah, I feel that it's time maybe to take a pause, to reassess, because I think definitely some healing needs to be sorted. Because even for you, if you are confronted with someone like that, who is a page, not an emperor, male, female, doesn't matter. It's someone immature, someone who doesn't maybe take your relationship seriously, doesn't value it. Oh, it could be that connection, or it can be someone else. Oh, it's fine, it's all good. No, it's not. No. Someone who doesn't consider you seriously is not worth your time, right? So maybe having a pause and a moment just to actually appreciate that connection. What is it all about? Am I treated properly? Am I respected? I would highly recommend it. Yeah. Some knowledge has to be, how can I say? You need to acquire some knowledge. You need to know a little bit more about what you want. What is your value? What are you able to compromise with or not? I think, a little bit of maturity is needed here, maybe on both sides. Maybe you sold yourself short. Maybe you are okay being like that, Maybe you like that little games, yes, no, no, yes. Maybe as well, it's all about the vavavoom and nothing else. If that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. But if you want something a little bit deeper, a little bit more, grown up, without being boring, but actually being true to yourself and go to the next level, then there's some serious healing needs to be done and acquiring knowledge. Maturity, okay? I could also see that obviously the energy from above, whatever you want to call it, is guiding you to connect to each other and learn from each other. It's possible. But someone is not opening their heart. Someone is staying on the kind of like surface and not going deep because the heart has been switched off. So someone who probably is not facing the very core of the issue. Why did they switch off their heart? Did they go hurt so badly, so damaged that they can't really open their heart any longer? Or maybe it's someone else and they have to choose between two. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, there's someone else. They can stay where they are or they can go and, start something fresh. In my opinion, they are players, male, female, doesn't matter. They do not want to confront themselves. They're not ready to grow. And therefore, they stay in the middle. So a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere, but not engaging properly their heart. They could do that if they were just having a moment and pause and appreciate the situation. I would highly recommend you take a pause and you reconsider the connection. What does it bring to me? Am I the one who doesn't want to open my heart fully, so I entertain a relationship with someone that is not fully present? Because if you go with someone who's not available, then you don't take the risk to get hurt. So obviously, you don't need to open the heart neither. So maybe it's good for you if that's what you want. At the end of the day, you don't want to take the risk to go in a too deep relationship. So being with someone a bit immature actually is fine. You have what you have and that's it. You don't want any more. But if you want something a little bit deeper and grown up, you're not with the right person. It is again a page. It's someone who can be also very cutting with their words, someone who can actually check other people online very much as well. Very immature. We all have page here. It's about to change because I think you might be tired at some point. There's so much you can go. I think there's a lot going on, a lot of activity on the internet here. So take a moment. If that is something that works for you because you as well don't want to engage your heart too deep and you don't want to get you disappointed, that it can work because you're both doing the same thing. You stay on the surface. But if you want something a little bit more long term and grown up, then I think it's time to move because that person probably have someone else. Okay? On this note, have a beautiful day and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Ciao.